Dishonored 2 is coming, and if you're like me, you're extremely excited. Let's get right into this trailer with everything you need to know. First things first, we know a lot of time has passed because look at what that mask looks like. It is not in good shape. Has he even used it for a long time? We have no idea, but I doubt it. Corvo is no longer dishonored. He has actually been rather honored since the end of the previous game. So we know this is a ways down the line. I will say we do know for certain that he is living on account of some things that Arcane Studios said while on stage presenting this very trailer. Those folks, very good at making games. Have to give it up for that. But yeah, if you're worried about Corvo, don't be.
It's happened again.
Let's check back with that comment in just a moment, but first, let's have a look at this place. This is Karnaca, the capital city of Serkanos. It's obviously the main setting of Dishonored 2, and is apparently a very large and developed city. From this picture, you can tell one of three things. 1, wind power works better than whale oil. 2, whale oil is outlawed here. 3, all the whales on the planet are dead. Could be some combination of these, but as you can see, the city is not powered on whale oil. It's far from a utopia though, because if you look over on the side, you can see what looks like a militarized version of the arc pylons from the first game. As we said, time has passed, so the technology has likely progressed, but why did it progress to a militarized version of it? Is this city fighting off an external threat? Is it a dictatorship, or is it somewhere in between? Arcane has actually said that the government in this place is oppressive. The question is, are you part of it?
Someone's pulled the rug out from under you.
And likely not.
An empire at your feet, and you've lost it all. Be honest, did you really deserve any of it?
To quote Kanye West, no one man should have all that power. And while he stuck with a specific gender, I think that he meant everyone. No single person should run everything. And apparently you were. Now, whether you means Corvo or not, that's a different question. Bear in mind, Emily Caldwell was the heir to the empire, not Corvo. But did she appoint Corvo to be a duke? We do not know. And if indeed she did appoint Corvo as a duke, what happened to dishonor him this time? Or is the duke someone else? As this little piece of graffiti says, the crown killer is watching, so did somebody kill, or is somebody perceived to have killed the royalty? Something that we'll talk about later in the trailer makes that seem a little unlikely, but somebody thinks that somebody has killed somebody.
More important, what would you do to get it back?
Slightly vague setup complete. Now we start looking through the eyes of our protagonist.
Careful. There's always a price to pay.
Like getting mud on them nice boots. I'm really sorry, I could not resist that one.
What you decide will ripple across the years.
The consequences will never be the same.
And corruption on the wind. It'll be fun watching this unfold.
By now, based on the attire and frame of the person, you've likely figured out that the protagonist being pictured here is not Corvo. Rest assured, you will be able to play as Corvo. However, the power you're looking at is clearly not Blink. However, it is functioning basically like Blink. If you remember playing as Dowd, you remember that Dowd had a different set of powers. Not entirely different, but slightly different. When the outsider gives people powers, does he give them different powers? Or does he give them all the same gift and their bodies react differently to it? I'd be interested in finding that out. One way or the other, this is not Corvo.
What will you do with the power I've given you?
He's asking you.
How will you make your mark,
the player,
on this wretched world?
To me, this seems like this is likely the Duke. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we have our Duke right here. He's rich, he's got a painting of Sokolov, which is a tie to the previous government, yet he is certainly living comfortably in present day, implying that when the government switched over, they didn't take him out. But if he's tied to the previous government, he's probably not the nicest fellow on the planet, because that was the whole point of the first game, was that the previous government was super corrupt, and the thing that was holding it together was the Empress. They killed her to take her power, and it sent the country into chaos. So this fella doing some kind of machine experiments on his desk, likely a remnant of that time, and therefore likely a remnant of that kind of thinking, and therefore likely some kind of problem for us. And here comes the payoff to all that buildup. Entering the room. Who even thinks of something like this? Obviously, technology is on a different level than it was in the first Dishonored. We now see that this is an assassination in progress, and that our possible Duke is clearly the target.
You cover your face, but I know who you are. Emily Kaldwin.
See, this was what I was getting at earlier in the trailer. You get to choose whether you play as Corvo or Emily Kaldwin. And I totally agree, because she is the logical continuation of the most exciting parts of the previous story. She's young. She has become the Empress. She has everything to lose, and from the looks of it, she has lost it already. It seems very likely to me that Emily and Corvo are in this place to take back this area for the people. However, given she's disguising herself, obviously not an official capacity. Is that because she's lost any title that she had? Is that because she's working undercover? We don't know.
Nothing is an accident.
Believes Invader has a plan.
Everything is in motion.
Has a plan.
All of it has led you to this exact second in time.
And our next revelation: terrifying cycloptic smiling robots. These things look like something straight out of Bayonetta or a Guillermo del Toro movie. Either way, they're nightmare fuel. And this is what you're probably going to be facing off with for the entirety of the game. Again, this guy is very deeply tied into the previous malicious government, so what this guy is making is likely getting shared everywhere, and dictatorships love oppressive technologies like this. Obviously not a gameplay demo, so don't expect a ton of gameplay, but check it out. It's Emily Kaldwin. This is actually telling us a very large amount of information. 1, about what we're up against. 2, about the level of technology. 3, about the type of genius this guy is for creating stuff like this. And 4, how to defeat it. Emily Kaldwin. Total badass. By the way, this guy looks exactly like Walt Disney.
Think before you strike. If you kill me, you become the assassin we claimed you were. You become one of us!
One of us as an assassin, one of us as in people with powers, one of us as in just a bad person.
The years are long,
Who knows?
but it's always good to see a familiar face.
So we know that they claim that Emily Kaldwin is an assassin, and if you take the lethal route, you're likely going to prove them correct. Hopefully we've shed some kind of insight with this trailer. You now know that you can play as Corvo, you know that you can play as Emily, you know a little bit about the world, and we provided some story analysis. Whether or not it turns out to be correct, don't know, but if you come back, watch this, and you're like, well, they really got it right. I just want to say hello from the past, and I told you so. If you enjoyed the video, if you found it insightful, obviously please click the like button, also favorite it, and send this to anyone you know who loves Dishonored. Speculation is probably the most fun we're going to have until next spring when it comes out. Also, do not forget to subscribe to gameranx. We've got tons of great videos coming out daily, and you're going to want to come back all the time. Thanks a lot for watching, and preserve your honor. In real life, obviously. In the game world, just don't worry about it. But, yeah.